and everybody goes out of business because that's not a realistic price. And so that obviously is a big part of the little series. So what we're trying to do is talking about, you know, the financial price point situation that comes with this, because that's a big barrier for a lot of people, period. Hello everybody, we're here today at Front Porch Farms in Arden, and we want to give you a little taste of what sustainable regenerative agriculture looks like and kind of give you a behind the scenes look at the mission and what is their passion here at Front Porch Farms and how that helps us at Goldfinch be able to translate their produce to an item that we can put on your plate. One of the really exciting things for me as a chef and as a business owner are being able to drive by here on my way to the restaurant in the morning, look over and be able to see the farm, see the farmers working the land, for me to be able to develop a connection with the plants, be able to be here from when the plants are small, first going into the ground, watch them through maturation, be able to get close to harvest and be able to start thinking of creative ways to use this amazing product. A big part of what we're trying to do with these videos is educate the community on what you pay and what it costs, and sometimes why it is that what you pay isn't actually what that costs. And so in a couple minutes, we're gonna sit down with Dee and he's gonna tell us a little bit more about their mission, what makes him excited about the food, and hopefully what we can do as a community and as a restaurant to continue to support them in what they're doing.
My name is Dee Atchison. I'm the owner of Front Porch Farm. We purchased the farm in 1999, and so we've been here, this is our 22nd year. Two of my 5 children are on the farm with us with 7 of my grandchildren. So this is a 3-generational farm, and we're totally self-supported by what we grow. We don't have any outside income other than what the farm produces. So we work hard at making it viable to the community and for ourselves as well. A little history, I was 49 years old when I bought the farm and decided I wanted to do something totally different. I wanted to work with my children. We homeschooled them, and so we decided to start this farm, and as typical in Stevens County, doing cattle and hay wasn't going to pay the bills, so we got into gardening, which is really our passion, and so it's just growing exponentially from there. We're one of the few families that does this in Stevens County as a full-time occupation. We begin to plant in the garden itself, in the soil, about the first week in April, and that seems to be the typical, but we seem to be gaining a little bit of length in our falls. We used to freeze the first week in September, and now sometimes it's mid to even maybe late September before our first hard frost. So that extends our season, which is nice. Culver River is about 200 feet to my south there, to my right, and all of our water comes from there for irrigating our lawn, our garden, and 200 acres worth of hay. I work with a beekeeper who brings hives in the spring and picks them up in the fall, and then he produces honey from our farm, and we take that honey and sell it at farmers markets. So it is our honey off of our farm. Well, I think people today are spoiled. They don't have a clue to the fact that, you know, there is a season for certain things. Lettuce is always spring, and cherries is always June and July, and peaches are August, September. Things like that. You know, we can only grow for 120 days, so you need to learn to put your produce up or to can it or freeze it or whatever you do with it in season. And I think that's what restaurants are trying to do, or at least should be doing, to try to highlight what is seasonal and grown in our environment. Yeah, the lettuce is one of the crops that would be a good topic to talk on about a sustainable product, because I think 90% of the lettuce on the West Coast comes from the Salinas Valley, which is, has a very temperate climate, 365 days a year, and so they can grow lettuce every day of the year. Well, we have a window from about April 15th until maybe September 15th to grow lettuce, and after that it's way too cold. You can buy lettuce on sale at maybe for $1 a head if it's really a special, but traditionally, it's like $49, $79, and we charge $3, and everybody goes, $3? Wow, it's not right. Well, if you knew what we had to do to produce a head of lettuce for you by, let's say, by May 1st, $3 a head is dirt cheap. because we don't pay ourselves a whole lot. And that's what makes our farm sustainable. Corn is another example. You know, average cost of corn is to produce is about 40 cents. And then you add in your fertilizer and your tractor time and your harvest costs and then your everything that goes with that. You know, we sell our corn, organically grown, but we sell our corn for either 3 for $2 or 75 cents a year. We kind of push the envelope. We're the guys that always have the produce first in the Stevens County area, and that requires a lot of extra effort as well. So that's why a $3 head of lettuce is the average cost of a head of lettuce. It's just the way it is. If you want us to be here next year, you have to pay it, and we have to realize your support of us in order to make it a win-win for both of us.
I think people sometimes just, they're not aware of it. And so when they just see the price, they're like, this isn't fair. I'm not getting enough for this, for what I'm paying.
Right. 75 to 80% of what we actually take in as a farm goes back into the community.
Absolutely.
You know, in the form of buying diesel and buying net wrap and buying chicken fertilizer and buying seeds and everything that we do, it goes right back.
There's few things that you can do for the local economy that are more directly impactful than keeping the money here. And it almost sounds like a cliche because everybody's always like, spend local, you know, and we talk about it, but it's like going to a restaurant that's local doesn't always mean that money's staying here.
Let's define local. You know, is local Washington? Is local West Coast? Is local Mexico because it's on the West Coast? You know, no. Local is your community. We couldn't continue to do this if the community didn't support us, especially at farmers markets. And that's really a vital part of our income.
You know, the restaurant is always kind of like the end product, if you will, of so many other businesses, right? Because you can't have a restaurant with just lettuce or even with just one farm. You know, it's like you have to have relationships with multiple farms, with multiple ranches, with wineries, with breweries, with all of these different
protein producers.
Exactly, protein ranchers. You know, it's just it takes such a collaborative effort to then be able to put one dish together on a plate. And it's like, if in so many ways the restaurant is one of the only ways that we have, other than people buying the product and doing it themselves at home, of really being able to like synthesize all of these different avenues and being able to say, for this much money you can support all of these places in one shop. A big thank you to Front Porch Farms for taking the time to have this conversation with us about sustainable agriculture. And now it's your turn to get involved. The first and most important thing that you can do is to make sure that you are spending your money locally in businesses and in farms that are in your community. The second and quickest thing you can do right now is to share this video with your friends and family and inform them of why you think it's important that we're more conscious in the way that we source our food. Oh yeah, that's a huge freaking romaine. What?
That's what you make your Caesar salads out of.
It is.
You could just eat one of those, it'd be a whole meal.
Right, this is a...
And then some.
Yeah. Oh geez, this is awesome.